Gautam Buddha had a disciple whose name was Chaksupal. Chaksu means eyes, but Chaksupal was blind. Once Chaksupal went to Jetwan with the desire to see Buddha, and after paying obeisance to Gautam Buddha, he stayed in the hermitage. One night Chaksupal was walking outside his room in the hermitage. He was engrossed in walking meditation. While walking, some ants were crushed under his feet. Since Chaksupal was blind, therefore he could not see those ants walking on the ground. The next morning, when the other disciples of monastery passed from there and saw the ants dead in front of Chaksupal's room, they started criticizing Chaksupal for doing bad karma. They went to the Buddha to complain about Chaksupal. After listening to the complaint of the disciples, Buddha asked them, "Did you see Chaksupal crushing ants with your own eyes?" All the disciples refused that they had not seen anything with their own eyes. But all the ants were laying dead in front of Chaksupal's room. That's why Chaksupal must have done it. Then Buddha said that as they did not see Chaksupal crushing ants with their own eyes, similarly Chaksupal had not seen those ants walking on the ground because he is blind. That's why Chaksupal is not guilty of this sin. Then Buddha told the disciples that Chaksupal has attained enlightenment. Therefore, Chaksupal cannot do anything with the feeling of violence towards any living being. Then Buddha's disciples asked him that if Chaksupal is enlightened, then because of what sin is he blind? Then Buddha told them the story of a previous birth of Chaksupal, and the story goes like this. In the previous birth of Chaksupal, he was a physician. He used to treat people with herbal medicines. He was very skilled physician. People used to get cured very quickly after taking his medicines. One day, a woman came to him to get his eyes treated. The woman had lost her sight due to some disease in her eyes. She had completely given up hope of recovering her eyes. When she went to Chaksupal, she promised him that if her eyes were completely cured and she was able to see again, then she would become his slave for the rest of her life along with her children. Chaksupal gave her ointment to apply in her eyes, and gradually the eyes of that woman started getting cured. She started seeing with her eyes. Then she thought that by applying ointment for few days, her eyes were cured so much. Then if she used the medicine for few more days, then her eyes will become perfect and disease will not come back again. But she was scared that now, as per her promise, she will have to remain a slave of Chaksupal for the rest of her life. And out of that fear, she lied to Chaksupal that her eyes were not getting cured and she need more medicine to cure her eyes. But Chaksupal was very clever. He knew that his medicines cannot fail to cure the eyes of any person. He understood that the woman does not want to keep on her promise of becoming his slave for lifetime. and that's why she is pretending not to be cured. So, out of malice, he gave her such ointment, due to which she became blind for her whole life. And because of this bad karma, Chakshupal had to be blind in this birth. After telling the story, the Buddha said to his disciples, "My pupils, all the tendencies of human being are born from the mind. If any person does something with bad intention in his mind, then he will definitely get the result of his bad deed in the form of sorrow. And if he will keep doing such bad karma, then sorrow will never leave him but will always keep following him. Just like in a bullock cart will follow bullock. And if a person does not deed with good intention in his mind, then happiness follows him, like the wheels of bullock cart follow the bullock." After listening to the story, all the disciples came to know about the law of karma, and many of them become enlightened. After listening to the Buddha's sermon that day, the law of karma is a fundamental concept in the Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain religions. It is the idea that every action a person takes, whether good or bad, will have a corresponding effect on their future. This means that the choices individuals make today will determine their destiny tomorrow. The law of karma affects everyone's life differently, depending on their action. Positive actions like helping others, doing charity work, and living a honest life will lead to positive consequences in the future, such as good health, success, and happiness. On the contrary, negative actions like lying, stealing, and harming others will lead to negative consequences in the future, such as illness, failure, and misery. Therefore, it is essential to practice good karma to create prosperous and fulfilling life.